Hey y'all, happy Tuesday. So I want to make mention of something we have going on this Saturday. So April the 23rd from 10 to 12 at the Benson Pentecostal Free Will Baptist Church. They're having a ladies retreat. I'm going to be speaking that morning. There'll be light refreshment served. It's going to be a time of just pulling away and allowing the Lord to pour into us. Refresh us, renew us, revive us, and encourage us. And I think that that is very necessary this time of year. We're heading in, looking to the end of the school year and the beginning of summer, and some are just coming off of spring break. Some of us, like in our homeschool, this week is the last week of our community days, and so we are almost there. But we all need to be poured into. So if you're local to the Benson area, it's this Saturday from 10 to 12. Again, that's at the Benson Pentecostal Free Will Baptist Church, right there at 205 East Hill Street in Benson, and you can look up the address there. We'd love to have you. No registration and no cost. They wanted to make it as easy as they could for ladies to just join and be together. So that is this Saturday, April 23rd. Now, I've got some allergies going on. We just tell them to go in Jesus' name. Yesterday, we read the account of Jesus' resurrection and talked about the truth that Jesus is just as alive today as he was yesterday, or as he was Resurrection Sunday morning. That there's no difference in his aliveness, his presence, that he's not passed away. He still is close. He is still alive. And that is how we should wake up every morning, feeling that it is that same Resurrection Sunday feeling, that he is alive. He has conquered death, and everything changed after that. So I want to reread Mark 16, verse 14. I really think this speaks a lot, and we're going to look at it today. It says, "Afterward, he appeared to the 11 apostles themselves as they reclined at table. And he reproved and reproached them for their unbelief, their lack of faith, and their hardness of heart, because they had refused to believe those who had seen him and had looked at him attentively after he had risen from the dead." Now, I want you to think about that for just a little bit. These apostles are the ones that spent 3 years with Jesus, right? They knew him more intimately. They saw more clearly, more deeply into his ministry. They are the ones that traveled with him. They stayed with him. They knew the ministry of Jesus. And not only that, these are the men that he sent out in 2 by 2 during his ministry to go and do what he had been doing, what they had seen him do. And so these 11 did not believe those who had seen the empty tomb or the women who had seen Jesus. And he reproved them and reproached them. It says, for their unbelief, their lack of faith, and their hardness of heart, because they had refused to believe. And remember, Jesus had already prophesied. He had already told them that this was going to happen. Although, let's just be honest, when he was telling them this, they had no concept of him actually dying and being raised back to life. So, of course, we're human, so we kind of understand why they might have had a hard time to believe, because they actually saw him die. But knowing Jesus and knowing the prophecies, and I want you to correlate that to us, knowing Jesus, knowing our Father, and knowing his word, and yet we still sometimes just have a hardness of heart, or we have trouble believing. We are in unbelief, our lack of faith, that we don't trust that God really did do this, or that God really will come through on his word. And I love that it says that he reproved and reproached them, because that is correction. And I don't know about you, but I personally do need the correction. And I would so much rather be corrected, and of course in love, because Jesus does nothing outside of love, right? I want to be corrected in love so that I don't end up in the wrong place. God, don't let me continue down a path of unbelief or lack of faith. I don't want to be that person. And I know you don't either. And so while we might think of ourselves like, how in the world could the disciples not have believed Jesus, right? But sometimes we do the same thing about his word. Maybe we can't see what we want to see. Maybe we don't understand some things, but we believe what the Father has said. And when we don't, or when our path is off a few degrees, we want him to correct us. Show us, Lord, where we're missing it. I don't want to miss it, right? Okay, we'll pick up here tomorrow. I'll see you then. Bye, y'all.